Alright, now you can hear me. Hi, how is everyone today? Alright, so today we are actually going to be working on a couple more of those masks for that movie that we're doing for with Graveyard. Um,
What movie?
the Family Man movie.
Ah,
So these are the masks that we are going to be working on. We will be starting probably with the babies because it's pretty simple, and moving on to the girl because hers is by far the most complicated one. Oh, I forgot to grab that UV light. I am going to run over real quick and grab the UV light because I want to make her nose shine, and I want to see about possibly coating how well foam takes UV resin. So I will be back in just a second, and in the meantime, we will. So we go here. Um, in the meantime, you can hear about Power Morphicon. Just cooperate. Cooperate, you bastard. There.
okay, guys. So while Jeff's off doing that, yes, this weekend, or say Friday to the weekend, we will be traveling with Phil from Just Starting to Pasadena for Power Morphicon. We are so excited to be there. I mean, especially me, if you guys know, huge Power Ranger fan. Very excited to be there. Um, there's going to be a buttload of people there, celebrities panels. I know Phil's doing one with all of a bunch of villains from various series, and it's going to be a fun, like, game show type of thing he's going to be doing with them. From what I understand, it's going to be really super cool. I really want to sit in for that one. Um, I know First is going to be there in his Red Ranger suit for that meetup that that day. Um, Surprisingly enough, I thought it wasn't going to come in, but his Black Ninjetti suit just came in today. So we're very excited. So he has his new Power Ranger cosplay to sport on Saturday. And because there are going to be a couple of people from Team NT, and just to have a little fun with it, um, we are going to be wearing our Ninja Turtle characters, which is April O'Neil, Casey Jones, and Foot Soldier on Sunday of the event. And because April O'Neil is a reporter, she might make an appearance doing some interviews. So stay tuned for that, you guys. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, I think Jeff is just about ready. If he gives me a thumbs up off screen, I will take it over to him. No? Okay. So that's us on Sunday. No, not Sunday, on Saturday. Like I said, Bruce is in his ninja. I'll be in my traditional pink ranger. We'll be walking the floor, taking pictures, videos, doing all kinds of cool, fun stuff. We're seeing what vendors are there, what's happening. There's some after parties I know of that might be happening on Fridays and Saturday. Uh, we're contemplating going to see Legend of the White Dragon, which, I mean, if we can, that'd be really great. It'd be really cool. I know Tammy and Jenna Frank are going to be there on Saturday only, but they will be there. And I think it's going to be a great time, great experience. I'm extremely looking forward to it. I am very giddy. I've been looking forward to this since last Power Morphicon 2 years ago, and it's going to be so much fun. I mean, last time we did have to share a hotel room with people. We do this time, but we legit get to sleep in a bed. And here's Jeff.
So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of that in there. Cap this.
You're a little low, honey. I don't know if it's because you're far.
We need a work surface. And we need a piece of scrap foam. How do I not have a piece of scrap foam handy? I always have scrap foam. But here's my scrap foam. Alright, we have a piece of scrap foam. I always have scrap foam around. I'm like, what? Okay, so we're gonna use this other piece of scrap foam.
Never throw away your scraps, guys.
It's good for testing stuff on. That's what I'm doing right now. These are all the little cutouts from the mouth from last week. So I'm just taking some resin and I'm just kind of putting a coat on here. So if I really cared, I could even that out, but honestly, it'll look better if it didn't. And I should not do that over the cut. I'm
Because
harden the cut.
if I remember right, these do need to look like homemade out of whatever was in the house type of masks, right?
Yep, and that I'm honestly actually making. I have not used this. I haven't bought anything to make these masks yet. I've only been using stuff I have around here so far. So. Yeah, I did have to borrow the UV light from work. I know it doesn't look UV, but you kind of see the shine back when I hit the resin. See how it's like a purple line coming off of it?
Yeah, I do see like a couple streaks. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is UV light. That's why it's shining purple instead of white. You can kind of see it right there. She doesn't look bad.
What's that, bud?
That doesn't look bad. So, what I've done here is I added a coat of resin to the outside of this thing. And now it catches the light and shimmers. So if I was to put
But did it already have that white smudge?
No, but this is also when I actually do this, I will have put acrylic paints down first. The acrylic paint will have dried. Actually, I'll probably use this Wicked Colors right here. Airbrush paint.
Do you remember where you got that airbrush paint?
Get a cheap throwaway brush here. Get a chunk of white and a chunk of black. So let's see. Can I paint? Ooh, I can paint the black. Where's Sigma's black? Okay. So the nose will have to be painted like this first. Stay still. And we'll actually probably have classy dip underneath even that. But I will come back and I'll put coat of resin on that in a bit here. Crazy thing with UV resin, you can just let it sit on the counter, and it will not cure until the UV light hits it. Alright, so while we let that dry over there, we can start working on the baby face. For the baby face, white stuff here. Before I start painting, I'm gonna have to hit up Grave. Because looking at the picture of this,
Oh yeah.
the color is actually white, and it's an old school comic book technique of dotting that's giving it a light green tint. So I need to see if he wants it with a green hue, or if he wants how we want to paint.
Mm.
Cause like Mom's pretty straightforward. Mom's gonna get a rust color coat. Dad's gonna get a solid green, like medical what are those clothes called? Scrubs, like medical scrubs green. Or if you're a welder, the green jackets that freaking every job's giving you if you're a TIG welder. Cottons, that you probably know it. I actually should get some more cottons. But let's see, baby face would be about yay big. I have to figure out how big of a circle to cut for this. Because I'm basically, this is the same way I did Barrel's face, more or less. So I basically figure out how big do I assume the baby's face is going to be, roughly. And then I add about an inch to that, and something like that.
Now I forget. Are they?
I did not get all that.
Are they gonna get an acting baby, or are they gonna use a doll?
I'm not sure. But a baby's face is about the size of my palm, I'm guessing. So, I feel like this is a little bit bigger than my palm. My hand. So that's about the size of a baby's face. Is about the size of my hand. I should be able to, like, palm their face, on average. Because this kid looks like he's a year or so. So if I figure his face is about the size of my hand, I'll just bring these two sides on the side here in a little. Make it a little off round, which will also add to the homemade look. Because most people are not fabricators. I mean, some of us are.
And if he wants to read the comments, I'm just going to answer his question. No, this is not for PMC. This is for the Family Man movie that Grave is working on.
The Family Man horror movie, which is a comic adaptation, comic being turned into a movie, and we are taking this material, and we are going to make this baby's face. Right, is what we're working on right now. So we're going to be making that baby's face right there. Is what we're working on. So I'm just trying to get the basic shape, and then I'll draw in a couple eyes. We're gonna have to stretch the foam a little to get a nose, or I can add a bump out on it. might just add a bump out on it with some foam clay. I've done that before in the past. That's how I made Barrel's nose. And I think the mouth is going to be a paint on. So, and then we get to move on to this very difficult clown face over here. And that is why we are doing the test with the other chemical, or with the UV resin, is I want to make the mask normal, kind of like a satiny, but make that nose shine with the glisten. So I think that would look really cool, and give it. And because this movie's gonna be shot very darkly, very low light, it will give that thing where when the daughter steps out into frame, you'll get that glisten across the nose, and it will show really crazy. Because any light will shine off that nose, and it'll be that little thing that you see in the background. You're like, wait, what was that? I need sharpness.
First cut.
We did not get all the way through. One baby face. Okay, now I need to come over here and move some. So I would say eyes take about 3. Eyes being somewhere about. There. And there. I'll have the nose bump somewhere in here. And that little baby mouth will get drawn on. Kind of a kidney bean shape. A little bit bigger on the bottom. Little buck teeth looking things in there. And then all this goes black.
And you're gonna cut that out or just leave that piece?
I gotta cut the eyes out. I'm leaving the mouth. Because that will get painted in later. But I need to cut these eyes.
Okay.
So the interesting part here is we're using the same material to make all these masks, but we're supposed to be portraying different materials, kinda, for a lot of them. So this baby's mask, it's hard to tell what it would be, but it's fairly thick. It almost looks like it would be like thick leather. fairly thick. The daughter's mask looks freaking borderline plastic. And then you got the mom's weird wolf mask that definitely it's like some kind of leather. And then the dad, I feel like his would have to be a couple things. I'm feeling like it's fabric coated, whatever, with something under it. So. The thing from reading this comic, the thing I really wish I had is some backstory. Like a prequel. Like, how did this family get deranged?
Something tragic happened to them.
How did they end up all deranged in this house? And, like, what's up with the dad having scrubs on? If you have headphones, here's your warning. I'm firing the heat gun up.
Mm. Doesn't sound too bad right now. And guys, you can do this with to shape your foam. It's really helpful.
This would also work if you were building like a Shy Guy or a, same concept if you're building any of the Jawa maps, any of the Jawa maps. Round to shape this on.
Oh, he disappeared. Now he's back. Surface to shape your item to when you're beginning it so it can get to closer to what you want it to be.
Get a bowl out later.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should trim a little bit more off this face. That's a little bit closer to a baby's face size.
Oh, you're making it smaller?
Oh, I've got a whole hula hoop off. Oh, that's gone now.
Yeah.
Wish that was clean on the inside. It'd make this easier.
Make it a halo. Talk about something, 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 dog stuff. So, guys, we already talked about that we've been nerding, like the last three of them. Just one released, I want to say it was today for VersaCon. That was a couple weeks ago. If you want to catch that, or Brick Blast, that was this past weekend in Santa Clara, which was a lot of fun. Um, and Jeff's back. Oh my God, stop talking. Oh, you're putting it in the bowl. That's interesting. I also get it to make that more round shape there.
So, I am
Looks
currently
like just
holding
not
up my pocket so that they do not
pushing
fall
it
out.
all the way into the bowl, but at the edge so we can serve.
There we go. Now we have a nice dish. I'll have to get foam clay to do the nose. I'm out right now. I don't want to use the stuff Bruce has because it's black. And I'd really like to keep this all white foam. I'm also not going to torture you guys with a Dremel, but I do want to run a stone bit around the inside because it will clean up that a little bit. So if you use a stone bit like that on a Dremel, I have a bunch of different ones. I will actually probably end up running this one right here. It's like a little straight edged one. And you run that around, you can sand it down, but it does not take a whole ton out of your parts. Versus if you use the sand wheels, like these guys, you can very easily gouge the living heck out of your stuff. And I mean, you can get these stone wheels really cheap. This is like the Harbor Freight set right here. So, different colors are different coarseness. So you have like the pinks, you have the orange, somewhere in here I have the gray. Just like a darker colored one. This is for sharp. This is stone bladed. I think I have some gray ones somewhere around here. Oh, there's gray ones. You have the gray ones. There's different coarseness, different, and they're gonna clog up differently. So play around with them. Use some junk material first, and see what works best for you. Another thing you can do.
And you're looking for these because what are you doing with the mask again?
Huh?
What are you using those to do?
I will be using those to smooth out the inside of the eye socket here. Those are for sanding your foam. They're actually meant for sanding metal.
Oh, okay.
Also, you can use a wire wheel if you're working with styrofoam. Especially like that green styrofoam. That's what Reptar's head is made out of. Wire wheel eats that stuff and sculpts it really well. But that is about as far as we can get on the baby one. Let's see if our paint is dried. Oh, if our paint's dried. Let's go back to our experiment. We'll add baby with mama and dad. Alright, back to our experiment. Now that our paint's mostly dry there. We're gonna get some of the UV resin onto our little spreader. Spread some UV resin on there. Actually, I'm also gonna go back over the other UV to see if it smooths it out and gets be better. Okay, this resin should be semi-self-leveling. And then well, you guys can see what I'm doing here. So the more intensely you put the UV on there, the quicker it's going to dry. But also the more likely you're going to get heat bubbles. So, and the thicker it is, the more UV you need. I'm keeping this light up quite a ways because I want it to cure without really any bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got. So you can see how you get that little glimmer on the red there.
Yeah, it looks shiny. So the white on the black part, is that?
That's reflection, that's light. See how it's kind of a square? That's the ring light. You can actually see it right there.
Okay.
See how it's actually a circle up there?
I can't see purple. I guess it's
Not
my
purple,
screen.
circle. The shape.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about the little speckly up top there? That's because I cured it too quick and it got air bubbles. But it's not really in the red section.
Okay.
The only black one. So the first coat I did up here, I flash cured to the slow curing it. That red has a nice shine. I like that. So that is definitely what we're doing for the nose. And it's super smooth. Has a little bit of flex to it too. So it's also going to be mostly fairly durable after I build it. So that'll be good. That means if it gets freaking jostled around or bumped or dropped or whatever, it's not going to crack the resin. Although that would look kind of cool too. So, this nose is the only part I plan on coating in resin. The rest of it is just going to be painted. Nose, actually, the red's going to be probably more this rust red. And then I have to figure out, we gotta talk to Grave and see what we want to do with the rest of this. This thing is interesting in coloring. It's like a green in the middle. I'm guessing the darkness is just shadowing. So it'd be like green in the middle with a white border. It's kind of what it looks like to me. But it's very inconsistent looking. So it's kind of interesting. Again with these weird tapered in eyes. I gotta still do that to the mom's masks. So what I think we're gonna do is I think I'm gonna take it right here at the top of that. Oh, you can't see my arrow. Huh, interesting. So I think we're gonna take it right at the corner of the eye there where those cheek bubbles are and separate it right there in the corner of the eye, at the top of the smile. Separate from the middle of the eye all across the corner of the eyes all the way across, and then make the top section one mask, the eye sections two pieces, a top and a bottom for each eye, and then figure out the nose is going to be a separate piece for sure, and then I got to figure out that chin and mouth. That's going to be freaking crazy. But we could start with that forehead. That kid looks about Bruce's age.
What do you mean by that? What are you gonna do?
I got a mannequin that's about Bruce's size. We have a head. By the way, everybody, she loves mannequins. You should buy us lots of mannequins.
No, those are lies. Lies.
She'll run up and give them hugs. She loves them.
No. You are a liar. Jeffrey is a liar.
How thick is foam? What do I want to do with that? I think this stuff would be good. So I think we're gonna make the forehead piece for this, and then we might do a part 2 and keep going on this thing, and then we'll finish. We'll do more of her mask, get her mask mostly assembled. Hopefully by then I can talk to Grave, and then maybe we can move on with some of these other masks. Plus, hopefully I can get some white. Some white whatchamacallits. Foam clay. Oh, by the way, if you have leftover resin in a cup, UV resin, and you want to just get rid of it, just take the white and shine it in there. Turn it to plastic, or to hardened resin, and then you don't have to worry about it dripping everywhere in your trash can. Just make sure you go up and down the sides to get all the drips and everything. And okay, that just cured really quick because I just saw smoke come out of that cup.
Smoke?
Yep, smoke.
I've seen enough smoke for today.
So who's going to PNC
No more, please.
and who's going to Galaxy?
Oh yeah, Galaxy this weekend too. I forgot.
I mean, we know people that will be at Galaxy. If you do end up going to Galaxy
Yeah.
Con, you check out Kyber Cave. They got the best lightsabers out there for you. Tell Van I need my freaking hoops for my belt loops. Or my belt hookups. I mean, we were hawking freaking band stuff at the Lego show.
Brick Blast. Yeah, because D Squad was there, and they had some sabers, and we were talking them up.
Yeah, their Jawa had their saber out there. Their Jawa and the Jawa's dad had their sabers out there, and me and Phil were out there just hawking freaking all of freaking his stuff. He's a local Bay Area brand and all that stuff. I know it's mostly cosplay people that are on our stuff right now, but you should check out a Lego show. It's a little bit different vibe, but it is freaking cool. Lego shows are actually really cool. You get to see everyone's freaking builds and their mock-ups where they made their own stuff. Plus, if you are into that show, Brick Masters or Lego Masters, yeah, Lego Masters, right?
Yes, Lego Masters.
There's almost always at least one Lego Master at these shows. There was 2 of them at this show. There'll be another Lego show down in Burbank. June? January. In January?
January.
There'll be a ton there. That show gets a lot of money. We actually saw the dude that puts on the other Lego show that we go to. At this Lego show.
Chip from Brickcentric.
Yep, we saw Chip there. And Chip's a nice guy. We'll... Trying to recruit the people that we know.
Why is it the two big celebrities that have passed in the past 2 days were both 80 years old?
Well, they were both also not well. Tim Curry had a stroke quite a while ago, and that's why he
True,
stepped
but
out
they
of the limelight. There's actually a really cool thing. I'm not sure what channel it was on, but I saw it on one of the YouTube where he was at a historic or movie thing, a historic movie archive thing in the UK, and they showed Tim Curry a bunch of his old stuff, and just like he just went down memory lane and started giving stories and stuff about it. It was really cool and great to watch. And I'm sure it's blowing up right now too, because everyone's probably Googling his name and finding stuff. Okay, so we're gonna heat shape this thing into the same bowl that we used before. One thing I would suggest is you don't do it like I did last time, and you heat it up outside the bowl so that the bowl doesn't get super hot. Also, keep in mind that if the bowl is hot, that's longer you have to hold that thing there because you have to wait until it cools down. If the bowl is cold, it sucks the heat out of the foam, and it will cool it down quicker. Also, if your bowl is, or when you're heating it, make sure you heat both sides of your foam and don't get too close, because you will melt the top layer and you'll get this weird shininess to it, and it'll be really hard to work with paint and stuff later. Put glass in the middle. Get it kind of a nose shape. Get this head back up here. Kind of looks like a superhero mask. Right?
That was a squeak.
Kind of looks like a superhero mask.
Yeah, it was kind of reminded me of John Cena's character in Suicide Squad. I forgot what his
Peacemaker?
character's name is. Yeah. Yeah.
There. I'll have a couple straps right here anyways, so I'll just sit on there like that. started the daughter and the baby. Last week we started the mom and the dad. So now we have the start of the daughter. We have the majority of the baby done. We have the majority of the dad done. I just have to figure out how we're making visibility and then cover it with some kind of fabric. And then we have a decent start on the mother. We have the ears done, we have the lips done, we have the main face, we just have to work the eyes, and then everything gets some paint. We gotta make his nose. And then this is the main one we got a lot more work on. But here's the family. Let's get it all started up and getting going. Live around the direction you guys are facing. So that's the start of the family. And we will continue onward with this next week. Hopefully with some more material. I could actually do that nose in black if I really want it to, because I'm going to have to plastic dip this whole thing anyways. But we will be back next Wednesday for all that. In the meantime, I need all of you to remember one thing. Remember, be a maker, not a hater. Good night, everyone.